Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to introduce Autism Diet. First of all, we're going to introduce the two basic diet. Number one, gluten-free and casein-free diet. Second is a specific carbohydrate diet. We have some kind of new respect on this diet, so just listen carefully. What is gluten and casein? Gluten and casein both is a type of protein and really difficult to break down and digest. When the people has leaky guts, the bigger the you know type of junction is has a leak. So those type of protein non-digest go into the your bloodstream cause body immune reaction. So that's why you need a special diet to taking gluten and casein from the diet. Well, according to the American Institute of the Autism, when autistic children remove gluten and casein from their diet, all the parents report their younger children have made a significant progress in their behavior, language, sight, learning ability, attention, less self-stimulation. This is really helpful for 65% autistic children. The food that contains gluten include wheat, grain, barley, rye, oats, millet, taffy, triticale, sprouts, amaranth, buckwheat, quinoa. Those three items technically not grain, but they are high risk for cross-contamination and not recommended on true gluten-free diet unless verification can be obtained. Durum, acorn, emmer, corn, rice. Those grains are classically considered gluten-free, but are not recommended on true gluten-free diet. Food that contains casein, milk, yogurt, cheese, and other dairy products are rich in casein because milk protein is 70 or 80% in casein. Casein is occasionally addressed in non-dairy food, such as the whitening or thickening ingredients. Also, some protein supplements include casein, so people, if they buy a supplement, have to be watch out to see what is containing casein or not. Uh, Really important to taking a casein-free and gluten-free diet in autistic children. Just make sure enough protein and not contain gluten and casein in their diet. That's really important. Kids get a really a good improvement from this diet. A specific carbohydrate diet, and also called SCD for short. SCD diet needed to be restrict or remove all foods containing a complex carbohydrate and sugar, except honey and fruits. They also need to remove all kinds of the starches and cereals, include the potatoes, the sweet potato, only meat, fish, egg, nuts, and seeds, honey, some ligaments, as well as non-starchy vegetable and fruit. Allow those above food. Those keep cutting off the energy source of the harmful intestinal bacteria, fungus bacteria, microorganisms, until healthy intestine flora can be restored again. Now, this diet includes the 5 steps. So we're going to introduce the 5 steps, each step. to help you guardians your children. The first step, basically just chicken soup. Now you eat the chicken soup for 1 day, sometimes 2 days, see the kids has any reaction. If no reaction, next day you can use the chicken soup continually. Also add some carrots. The carrots had to be cooked for a few hours. ACD diet, the second step. After you eat chicken soup, if you have no reaction with carrots, then we go to the next steps. This step basically adds organic yolk. Now start with 1 egg yolk, then gradually increase the couple yolks. But make sure those kids doesn't have reaction or the food allergy test is negative. Now we can add some homemade applesauce, pear sauce. When there's food, they have to be cooked. We can add some bananas, some raw butter, baking meat. We can use all kind of cooked vegetables, zucchini, cucumber, garlic. Have to be peeled, seeded, and they cooked. SCD diet, the third step. We continue use above food. This time we add the nut flour to make pancakes. We can use all kind of nuts like almonds, walnuts, pecan, but try not to use the peanuts because peanuts really easy to cause a reaction. We can use the organic nuts, cultured butter, eggs, some kind of fruit mashed, vegetable like a cucumber, zucchini, and then can put the blender to blend it to making some kind of pancakes. Or we have to ensure those pancakes not burnt. We can add some berries, cherries. The coconuts had to be cautious to use because a lot of fiber. So in the beginning of a stage, try not to use the much coconut. SCD diet fourth step or fifth step. We have to continue use the above food. Now this time we're gonna add some raw food or vegetable. Now before we add is the cooked fruit vegetable, so that's different. Now we also could use some meat this time, crushed nuts, sometimes coconuts. We talk about coconuts has a lot of fiber, so this stage we can use some kind of coconuts, high fiber food. This time we main thing we can add some dry food if we see how the kids can handle that. In this stage, fifth stage, we continue use both food, add dry fruit, nuts, cook the bean, sometimes raw bean, depends, bean should be cooked, not raw bean. So we make sure that each stage, you make sure the kids are and then tolerable with all the food. If not tolerable, just continue to stay. That the stage also may take off the food. Just observation for a week or 2 weeks, see how the children are doing continually. If they are doing the poorly has reaction, just stop. We go to stage 1, stage 2, start again, repeat it. Otherwise, that doesn't get no result. So the parents has to really careful how they eating the food. A summary of the SCD diet. Basic SCD diet is focused on intaking non-starchy vegetable or fruit, honey, and simple carbohydrate to avoid sugar complex carbohydrate. Autistic children usually commonly have leaky gut syndrome. SCD diet break down the vicious cycle of the information and food allergy, and help digestion system begin to recover. So really important that the parents has to remember all the steps of the SCD, each steps. If a kid has issue or allergies, should stop in that the stage, not move forwards or go back. If you're on stage 1 and now you're on stage two doesn't do well, then go back on stage 1. So that's really important. The main things we're gonna try make a new cycle for the children to recover from their intestine disability. If you have any question, and I have a contact information behind this page. Okay, this is my contact information. Go to the website. It's called shillingtonwellnesscenter.com. There will have an email address, a phone number, intake form. If you have any question, you can email. My email address is on website. Everyone have a good luck with their children. They deserve to be get better.